DMs into the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. Speaking of a return, I'm not just back on game night, but Justin Figueroa is coming back to join us here in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios as the boxing event of the summer is this Friday. And Justin is back in action on a stacked action card that you do not want to miss this Friday night. Talk with Justin about how his preparations have been going for this Friday's fight and his thoughts on his second bout of the year. You know, he's staying busy, and I know for some people it's a bit of a controversial topic. Not for me, at least. I don't think it is. But I know for some people, it's a bit of a controversial topic of how often fighters stay active. And I know Justin, he is someone who likes to stay active. He is someone who wants to be in the ring and staying busy. So we'll talk with Justin more about that in less than 20 minutes from now. As always, you guys can join the conversation on the Phillies and the Eagles at 609-403-0973. Your DMs into the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. And, you know, I have been hearing a lot of consternation from people about Jalen Hurts and about the Eagles coming into this season. And I was very glad to hear on the Scoop City podcast, you know, Diana Rossini had almost an hour sit down with Saquon Barkley. And to be frank, the majority of it was about not even Saquon's current team, it was about his former team. But there was some conversation in the pod that actually really stood out to me. And part of it was about Jalen Hurts. And I'm really glad to hear and share with you guys what Saquon said about Jalen, because as we get ready for another NFL season, you could argue Jalen Hurts is one of the most polarizing quarterbacks in the NFL today. You have ESPN Plus's rankings saying that he's not a top 10 quarterback. You have Adam Kaplan and Rob Maaddi, who have both covered the NFL for a couple decades, both say that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the league. Cam Newton says that he would take Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts. Everyone seems to have a diverging opinion. And for whatever reason, there are certain people who are behind microphones like myself who have gone out of their way to speak so intensely ill of Jalen Hurts and to trash him so intensely to the point where they have lied about him and they have propagated these lies to the extent that there are people out there who are Eagle fans who now are parroting the same lies about the Eagles quarterback, ignoring facts, ignoring stats, ignoring the truth. So I'm glad Saquon Barkley, when he started to talk about his new quarterback, Jalen Hurts, he started off by explaining this to Diana Rossini of The Athletic.
A lot of people have this view of him, and I think they're wrong. He's a great leader. He works his ass off. Right there, and those two things to me are the most important thing. A good leader it's not just vocal, right? Everybody leads in different ways, but him is you're Jalen. It's the truth.
That's a very, very upfront point by him. He says, look, people they misunderstand this guy. This guy is a leader. And he says, not all leaders lead the same. And I think that there has been put out there, as we are now in a society that is more about come see me and less about watch me do. We live in an environment, in a world where everyone wants to show off and show out, but not everybody wants to actually do work. And I think that is part of who Jalen Hurts is. He may not be the greatest at a press conference. He may not be the greatest in certain environments, or he may not act the way some fans or some people would like. But ultimately, Saquon is saying this guy is a leader. And he goes on to say that who Jalen is, he has the right mentality and why it appeals to Saquon Barkley.
When you look and you see the work matches the talent, it's just nothing but respect. So like that's how I think leadership. And then like he's great. Like he's probably one of the best vocal leaders I ever met in my life. Like he got all these sayings. Like he know how to talk. Like he could talk. I'm not saying he can't do that, but more of like the way that he approaches the game, like his mentality.
We haven't heard someone describe Jalen that way before. Now, this might be part of Jalen's, personal evolution as a human being, his growth as a man, whatever you want to describe it, that he is becoming more of a vocal leader. But you heard Saquon saying, I've never been around someone like him before. He's got all these motivational and inspirational quotes. And it's interesting because this is an NFL player. This isn't Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. This isn't Mike Gill on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. This isn't Nick Earnshaw. This isn't anybody else in the media. This isn't Sal Paolantonio on Sal Pal Friday. This isn't, Jeff Kerr from CBS Sports, which is on with Mike Gill earlier in the day. Tomorrow, Jeff Mosher will be on. Earlier today, Adam Kaplan was on 97.3 ESPN. I can go through a list of people who are not describing Jalen like this. This is an actual NFL player, Saquon Barkley, telling you who Jalen Hurts is. And it goes completely contrary. It is the complete opposite of what some people have said about him. And listen, I understand when someone like Mike Gill, who said about a half hour ago on the Sports Bash about how he understands that people like Chris Canty, they're not in the locker room and they are only speaking to their perception of Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. But for me, I don't find that to be an acceptable answer, not because Mike Gill is wrong, because Mike Gill's description is 100% correct, but because I still blame Canty. Because when you have a national platform, whether it's on ESPN radio or ESPN television or any network, when you are on a platform with more people than anyone else potentially listening to you, you have the obligation to get your facts correct. And the producers who work on that show should be supplying him the guests, the information, the quotes, the sourced material to help him get those facts right. Here at 97.3 ESPN, we love our audience. We appreciate every single one of you who listen to us every day, whether on your radio or whether on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle, or whether you're catching us wherever you're getting us. We appreciate all of you. But it's because we appreciate you and we respect you, the listener, we try everything we can to get every ounce of information possible, because at the end of the day, it's really only two of us who work here. Okay? It's Mike Gill and I every day, for better or for worse, no matter how many times he gets frustrated with me. I say that a little tongue in cheek. Mike and I are just different personalities. We talked about that earlier today. But it's the idea that we work our tails off to try to do this the right way. And I don't think it's too much to ask people who are on national shows, who have multiple producers, multiple assistants, multiple people assisting them, to make sure they get the information right. Whether it is ESPN radio, whether it is a Philly radio station, whatever, any of these networks, you have plenty of people to help you get the information right. And if you don't get the information about the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, a franchise quarterback, the MVP runner-up 2 years ago, the Heisman Trophy runner-up in 2019, if you don't get your facts right about him, what are you doing, man? Saquon Barkley goes on to talk about Jalen Hurts' intensity, his competitive nature, and how Jalen is already pushing the Eagles' new running back.
He's a competitor. Like, I know he can squat. I can squat. Like, me and him, it's like we're competing. Like, we're going at it. Like, we're like, some days we push each other. Like, there might be a day where we're hex bar deadlifting and like my knee might be a little sore, my back might be a little tight, and I might not want to go out there and push it to the limit. And I see Jalen out there grinding. He's pushing it. So I'm like, I'm not going to fall behind, and vice versa. Like, we push each other. And when you have a guy like that, and if I'm able to come in and match that intensity, it's infectious throughout the whole team.
A lot there. First of all, I love the fact that Saquon is looking at Jalen as an example. And he's saying, look, my quarterback he's putting in the work, and I gotta grind just as much as he is. I gotta work as much as he is. And that he says, his intensity is infectious for the rest of the team. And it reminds me of what Lane Johnson said, because remember, when Lane Johnson answered the question about what went wrong last year, he never said it was actually the players. Now, you might say, well, that's Lane just defending his guys, right? But listen to how Lane describes what went wrong last year.
I think we had trouble making in-game adjustments. Some blitz packages, we had a hard time, especially in that Tampa Bay game. I think when you really go and watch that was kind of the, last two raw for us, but it just seemed ugly. I feel like the effort was never a problem, but we were just very frustrated as to why things weren't rolling our way. So that's the best way I could to describe it. But it felt like the practice, the effort was never the question.
So he points to coaching like everyone else does. And it goes back to what the film guys, the Greg Cosell of NFL Films, the Brian Baldinger, Baldy's Breakdowns, the Emery Hunts of CBS Sports HQ. You go to Jason Avant, who has the Q&A show on the Inside the Birds podcast platform. All of these guys have said the same thing, which is there were a bunch of predetermined throws in the Eagles offense last year. And Chase Daniel described on Diana Rossini's podcast, this Scoop City, about how the offense was conservative last year. And Jason Kelsey said they needed more creativity. So some of the problems with Jalen had nothing to do with leadership. It has nothing to do with his work ethic, his intensity. It just was a bad year on a lot of fronts. And remember, it was Jeremy Fowler who said that because the Eagles didn't put Jalen in a position to be successful, he was not considered a top 10 quarterback, according to some NFL executives. All right, let's get to some text before we hit the break. 609-403-0973. Your DM in the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Let's see here. Andrew in Summers Point chimes. Hey, Josh, bad feelings on the Phillies. Seems like they've lost their mojo. Is it pitching? Offense? Not sure. Give me a reason not to worry. A couple of things there, Andrew Summers Point. And I didn't really get into the Phillies at the top of the show because I was so focused on the Eagles stuff that they reported for training camp this week. Number one, I think the problem with the pitching is I think some of these guys have hit a wall. I think that your guys like Ranger Suarez and others, they're just, I don't know if it's health related or if it's mental related, but it's such a long season. You were eventually going to go through a losing 5 out of 7 game stretch. I'm a little more concerned with the offense and the pitching staff, only because of the fact that I don't like it when I see a Major League Baseball team struggle that much as they did last night against a pitcher that 98% of the sports fans out there have no idea who Ober is. I think that in and of itself is an issue. I think it's an issue when you are a organization that has built your team around offense, has built your team around pitching, and you start showing that every button you're pushing all of a sudden is not working. I'm not saying you should worry Andrew at some point, but I do think that there is some concern. But I don't think it's enough for me to say they're not going to be a a World Series contender. I just think it's enough for me to say they need one more bullpen arm. They could use one more right-handed bat to platoon with Brandon Marsh, and that bat should not be Christian Pache. Let's get Mike from Northfield with the break, and we'll come back with Justin Figueroa, undefeated junior middleweight from Atlantic City, fighting this Friday at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Mike from Northfield chimes in, Josh, I agree with you, but don't you also think Saquon is blushing over his new quarterback and rubbing it in the Giants' face? It kind of feels like bragging about a new girlfriend so your old one hears it. That's from Mike in Northfield. Mike, I do think that, yes, you're right. There is a little bit of a, hey, I want you guys to know that I'm in a better situation. But I don't think that's why he said what he said about Jalen. I think he said what he said about Jalen because I think Saquon heard the noise about Jalen. And I think he walked in trying to figure out, why are people bad-mouthing this guy? Why do people dislike this guy? Saquon talked about on the Scoop City podcast interview about how he didn't expect the amount of hate and vitriol he got from leaving the Giants to go to the Eagles when he felt the Giants in some ways pushed him out the door. So it was kind of like, you have a guy who says, look, I wanted to be a Giant. You guys kicked me out. I came to Philadelphia. I heard about this quarterback who I was told he's X, Y, and Z, and I come to find out he's none of the things you people said he was, that he's better than I could have ever expected him to be. So is there a little blushing over it? Yes. There's a little bit of I'm in a better situation than I was in. Yes. But I don't think that was the total, I don't think that was the reason why, but I do think you're right, Mike and Morimora, that may have been an influence on what he said. All right, more text coming up a little bit later in the hour, 609-403-0973, and your DMs into 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea City. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Tuesday night. Justin Figueroa of Atlantic City coming up next.
Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
This is a show and prove year, not just for Jalen Hurts, but for Nick Sirianni. Can you provide the leadership, the guidance, and the answers for your players when you hit that inevitable adversity? And 8 Ball says doubtful in my book. I haven't seen anything to show me that Nick Sirianni is going to be a championship-winning coach.
Wake up weekday mornings with Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman on 97.3 ESPN.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card good for use at Zion Mikamo Pizza in Sea Isle City for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seizethedeal.com.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's Closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land, where you can do things like clean your gutters, pay tolls, and even get the wrong thing you ordered. We got it all. Potholes, people talking at the movies, and don't forget about flat tires when it's raining. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, so customize your coverage with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. And relax, knowing you got the coverage you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Our greatest summer offers are waiting at BMW of Atlantic City. Lease a new 2024 BMW X3 X-Drive 30i for $629 a month with $51.99 due at signing. Or a new 2025 BMW iX X-Drive 50. Lease for $749 a month with $65.29 due at signing. Both for 36 months. At BMW of Atlantic City, closer than you think. Located in Egg Harbor Harbor Township. Online at bmwatlanticcity.com. Offers expire July 31st. For more details, call 609-316-2393.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
There are a lot of so-called fast food deals out there. But do any of them have the Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, crispy fries, everyone's favorite nugs, and a drink for just $5 like Wendy's Biggie Bag? Nope. And that's why no other deals can be called the Wendy's Biggie Bag. That and a little thing called plagiarism. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery.
Powered by the all-new BetParks New Jersey Casino and Sportsbook app. BetParks.com. This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Paul George officially introduced by the 76ers. I'm Nick Earnshaw with your South Jersey Sports Center and with your 97.3 ESPN question of the day. As heard earlier on 97.3 ESPN, Paul George was introduced by the Philadelphia 76ers today at a press conference at their facility in Camden. Tyrese Maxey also held a presser earlier in the day after signing his extension. With that being said, it got us thinking here at 97.3 ESPN. Do you believe that Paul George is the missing piece to get the Sixers past the second round? Let us know by texting 609-403-0973 or use the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Yes, I think he's part of the solution, but with the other moves the 76ers made, I think that's what gets them over the top, bringing in an Andre Drummond and Eric Gordon, among others, Caleb Martin as well. I think that's what can help them get over the top. Once again, text in at 609-403-0973. Your forecast is next.
From playtime to showtime, Atlantic City always serves classic summer fun with a twist of cool. Visit AtlanticCityNJ.com to win an overnight getaway.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zero. 2 more big pushes of wet weather coming up this week. One tonight through tomorrow, another one on Thursday. Pockets of rain will push in late this evening. Could be heavy at times through about mid-morning tomorrow. Low temperature, a steamy 75. The chance of a shower or thunderstorm will continue tomorrow, high of 82. One more push of scattered rain coming during the day on Thursday. It'll be breezy with a high of 85. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill is celebrating 15 years on 97.3 ESPN, and Bud Light wants to celebrate with you. It's Happy Hour Friday, July 26th from 2 till 6 p.m. at Giuliano's Pub and Grill, Ocean Heights Avenue in Egg Harbor Township, featuring $3.50 Bud Light drafts and $4 neutral vodka seltzers from 2 till 6 p.m. Enjoy a cold one and enter to win tickets to Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins at Citizens Bank Park, and celebrate 15 years of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and Bud Light.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Check back on the text board in just a moment at 609-403-0973. Your DMs into 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. We are efforting Justin Figueroa. He'll be joining us soon here on 97.3 ESPN. It's a busy week for him. You know, the guy's got to get ready for his fight. He's got to cut weight. He's trying to deal with all the multiple obligations he has. And he's a human being. So he's very busy. So he's going to do his very best to jump on with us. And probably when to jump on is because also I let you guys know this yesterday on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. We do have tickets to give away. So keep it tuned here today and tomorrow. We will tell you how you can win a pair of tickets to go see Justin Figueroa from Atlantic City, as well as Bruce Selden Jr. from Absegami High School. Top-ranked heavyweight fighter Otto Whalen is fighting in the main event this Friday. All of that, plus some amazing other action-packed fights, including multiple fighters making their debuts this Friday, professional debuts, all at the Tropicana showroom in Atlantic City. You will have an opportunity for today and tomorrow to win some tickets here on 97.3 ESPN. But if you don't win tickets, or if you're still trying to get your hands on, you don't want to be left to the odds of the draw, you can go to Ticketmaster.com right now. Get your tickets for the boxing event of the summer this Friday at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. I'll be there watching the fights with you guys. 97.3 ESPN will be in the house. Listen, we got your whole Friday planned for you. Let's be realistic, okay? Mike Gill and Sports Bash are going to be at Giuliano's Pub on Ocean Heights Ave this Friday for Happy Hour Friday tour. So you can go to Mike Gill, hang out with him at Giuliano's, have a chance to win tickets to go see Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day. And then when you're done there, you can head over to Tropicana in Atlantic City and hang out and watch the fights that night. It's a simple day. We got your whole day planned out Friday. Summertime. Okay, gotta have fun with it. I wanted to follow up with the text from a little more detail from Andrew Summers Point, because I know I didn't get to the Phillies that's at the top of the show. And I'll hit on the Phillies for a moment here. And that is, the Phillies have lost 2 of their last 7 games. They're both starts by the rookie Tyler Phillips. And I understand where Andrew Summers Point is coming from because, on the surface, it looks like the Phillies are a team that, let's be realistic, their pitching staff was a huge part of their success this year, the starters and the bullpen. But ever since they came back from the All-Star break, whether you want to say it's a hangover, jet lag, guys are still in mentally vacation mode, whatever the reason was, the reality is that they have not looked like the team that won 62 games before the All-Star break. Now, look, I think the Ranger Suarez issue is different than the rest of the team. My perspective on Ranger Suarez is this is a guy who, for the first 2 months of the year, was one of, if not the best pitcher in the National League. It was him. It was Zach Wheeler. It was Chris Sale. It was Imanaga, the Cubs. They were basically the best in the league. But you saw Imanaga and Ranger Suarez both fall to the same problem. And that same problem was other teams started making adjustments. And they have not fully adjusted from that. Now, if you want to say part of Ranger Suarez's problem is the fact that they had the back issue, okay, sure, I think that deserves some validity. But the reality is that it's not like those guys, Imanaga and Suarez, are bad pitchers. But for whatever reason, their skill sets, what they do best, has been neutralized a bit. Even Chris Sale has not been perfect this year. Chris Sale gave up 8 runs earlier this year. Now, since giving up those 8 runs, he kind of found himself again, right? In the 7 starts since then, he gave up 8 runs in 1 start. He gave up 10 runs in the 7 starts since. Why? Because Chris Sale, unlike Ranger Suarez and Imanaga, is a veteran pitcher who has been there and done that and knows how to adjust when other teams adjust to him. The same goes for Yamamoto. Yamamoto had a rough start to the year for the Dodgers, right? And then he kind of found himself, did Yoshinobu Yamamoto, okay? The man they call Yoshi found his footing again. And so you go back and look at Yamamoto's year. The current stat line doesn't tell the whole story. The story of Yoshinobu Yamamoto's season is he had the opposite year of Imanaga and Suarez. In Yamamoto's first 5 major league starts, he was okay. He was solid. He wasn't great. He had a lot of inconsistencies in his game. He had a great start, then previous start, not so good. Really good start, then an okay start, then an okay start. It wasn't until he got into the month of May that he really started to kind of find himself again. And even then, he had a down month and an up month and a down month and an up month. So you're talking about players who, yeah, Yamamoto has a 2.89 ERA now, but he started the year with a 4.5 ERA. And I think that's where I don't want to condemn Ranger Suarez. I think that maybe the back is flaring up, is having an impact. But I think also it's the reality that other teams have adjusted to him, and he has yet to make enough adjustments. And this goes back to the question, is he really healthy? Do you put him on the injured list? Do you go the 6-man rotation that they went to last year? Because you need guys like Suarez and Wheeler and others 100% for October. There's that part of the conversation. But the other part of the conversation, Andrew's number point question about being worried, is the bullpen. I don't think Alvarado is a bad pitcher. I think he's had a couple of bad outings. Left-handed hitters this year are 4 for 45 against him. So at worst, he's a left-handed specialist. All 3 of his home runs he's allowed this year, Alvarado, have been all to right-handers. But we know historically he has been able to handle right-handed pitching. So again, is it just people adjusting to him and now he has to adjust to them? Whatever the reason is for Alvarado going from being one of the team's closers to basically being a left-handed specialist, is, do we really believe that Hoffman and Strom are good enough to win the World Series at the back of your bullpen, or do you need one more bullpen arm? And this is where I think for someone like Andrew Summers' point, I'm trying to put words in his mouth, but I think a lot of our listeners here on 97.3 ESPN would say, look, you have these players who played maybe above what they're actually able to do early this season, and now they're coming back down to earth a little bit, and that teams are starting to better approach them, figure them out a little bit. And now it's on the Phillies and the players and the organization to get together and figure out how to stop the bleeding, because losing 5 out of 7 games is certainly not, it's certainly not what you thought they were going to do coming out of the All-Star break. Again, for a team that won 62 games heading into the All-Star break. The only good news is that you have lost 5 of your last 7, and the Braves have lost 6 of the last 10. So the Braves have made no ground up on you. They are as more of a mess than you are, and that's really your saving grace. Because as I said yesterday here on 97.3 ESPN, the Braves are so injured, and the Dodgers are so banged up, and all the other teams in baseball have so many limitations that the Phillies have been able to get away with losing these games. All right, Josh Hennick hanging out with you here on 97.3 ESPN. Coming up on the other side, I'll tell you how you can win tickets to go see Justin Figueroa fight at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. That's next here on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennick hanging out with you on a Tuesday night.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card good for use at Zion Mikamo Pizza in Sea Isle City for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
SeizeTheDeal.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
With GMF financing to qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes fire sales.
It's that time of year. Bennett Chevy's Summer Sell Down, our biggest sale of the year. 200 vehicles must go now. New Chevys, $500 below the GM supplier employee price. Yes, an amazing $500 below what employees pay. And Bennett gives you all the rebates. Yes, you get both. $500 below the GM supplier employee price, plus you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 10%. And with available 0% financing, you'll save even more. Plus, Bennett's paying a whopping $10,000 minimum for any trade towards any pre-owned in stock. You heard right. You get at least $10,000 for any old rusted, busted rattletrap you can get to our lot. Imagine how much you'll get for a good trade. And our non-commissioned sales team is paid based on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. It's the Summer Sell Down. Another reason nobody beats a Bennett deal. And I mean nobody. Together, let's drive at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-488-2594. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-488-2594. That's 800-488-2594. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennick on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
We'll check back on text port in just a bit at 609-403-0973. You want to keep that number handy because you're going to need that number if you want to win tickets to go see my guest, Justin Figueroa, the undefeated fighter from Atlantic City. Just in time, Figueroa is joining us as he gets ready for his fight. The return of boxing, the Tropicana Atlantic City showroom. He fought back in May, and he's back in the ring this Friday night for the boxing event of the summer on a jam-packed card. And he joins us right now here on 97.3 ESPN. Justin, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Josh? Thank you for having me on to promote the fight.
I appreciate you jumping on. So the last time you and I talked was about a little over a month ago on the radio. And, you were kind of getting into, what you were doing from when you won in May to then restarting, going full force with training. So now tell the audience what the last several weeks have been like for you as you've been ramping up for this fight.
It's just been a lot of dieting, making sure my weight is good, a lot of hard work. But then as time got closer to the fight, we started to powder the workouts so we could be more recovered and at 100% to perform on fight night. But me and my team, we did a lot of traveling for sparring. So we got a lot of work from different guys, different sizes, and different styles. So we're ready for anything on fight night, and we're ready to perform.
You mentioned about being ready for anything on fight night. We've heard fighters say that before, but tell the audience, Justin, what that means to you about being ready for whatever is presented to you.
Yeah, so for the past couple fights, I've been having a tough time getting opponents. This fight alone, I had about 3 or 4 different opponents pull out. So I've been having my opponents come in the last week of the camp. So it's like I said, whichever opponent it is, whatever style he's bringing, whether I have tape on him or not, or know about him or not, I'm training and I'm ready for a fight. So July 26th, it's fight night, and I'm ready for a fight.
I know people say stuff like, I've heard fighters say, I got to focus on me. I can't worry about the other guy. But I feel like for you, that's even more important what you're talking about, because if you are not on top of your game, if you're not on top of what you can do and working out, making yourself better, then you really are prepared for those situations, right? You are saying, look, if I'm at my best, if I put my best foot forward, then nobody can stop me, right?
Right. You always hear this saying. It's kind of cliche, but I swear it's true. It's you versus you, or you can say it's me versus me. Your only competition is yourself. So as long as you put in the work and you put 100% in and you try your best, that all you can hope for is the best because you put in all your efforts.
Justin Figueroa, undefeated fighter from Atlantic City, back in the ring this Friday night for the boxing event of the summer. Tropicana Atlantic City showroom Friday, July 26th. If you guys want to win a couple tickets to go see Justin fight this Saturday, we have only a handful of pairs left for to give away. Text in right now at 609-403-0973. and say boxing in the text with your name. Justin, when you think about getting back in the ring, you and I have talked about multiple times about the energy that you feel from the crowd. You know, there really is nothing like a crowd that is behind a fighter in a big fight, right?
Yes.
When you think about what that means to you, like if you were to close your eyes and just describe it to the audience, like what is that feeling as someone who put in weeks and weeks and weeks of training, and then you walk out and you get that burst of energy from the crowd as you enter the ring?
You said it right there. It's that burst of energy. You're kind of sitting in the back rooms or the locker rooms or backstage, and you're kind of going on this roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs. Oh, I put in the work, but wait, what if this guy hits me with a big punch? What if I get knocked out? What if I lose? What if I get embarrassed by everyone? But it's okay. I put in all the work. So it's a big emotional roller coaster backstage. But when I step out into the arena on my way to the ring and I see all my people out there and I hear all my people, there's a big adrenaline rush that goes in, and I'm ready to go, and I go right into my flow state, and I'm ready to rock. As soon as I see all those people in the stands that's ready to see a show, I'm ready to put on the show.
You mentioned your people, and I got to point that out because it's not what some people might think when they hear someone say something like that. You know what I mean? In this controversial environment we live in, because, you know, when I had Larry Goldberg on last week, he mentioned how, you know, you are a byproduct of so many things. Holy Spirit High School, Atlantic City's community, the Beach Patrol. You are a reflection of so many aspects of this area of South Jersey. And for you, knowing how all of those have impacted you in your life, how does that carry you into boxing?
Yeah, all those communities and different times of my life helped form me to the man I am today, and helped me become the fighter I am today. But Atlantic City, you know, throwing a boxing event in Atlantic City, we're just bringing people from all over. It's not just Atlantic City people coming to an Atlantic City event. It's like you said, Holy Spirit alumni, Atlantic City Beach Patrol alumni, everyone else that you included. You know, people from Galloway, people from Belmar, people from everywhere around the community and the county, and it's a good time to be in Atlantic City.
Justin Figueroa looks to stay undefeated this Friday night at Tropicana Atlantic City showroom for the boxing event of the summer. Just a couple more before I let you go. Speaking of South Jersey, you know, there's another South Jersey high school graduate on the card this Friday, that being Bruce Selden Jr. It's not every day we get to say that we have multiple South Jersey fighters competing on the same night in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
How cool is that for you to look around and be like, hey, I'm not the only local guy out here tonight?
Oh man, it's awesome. I know that I'm gonna come out, and I have people are coming out to see me, and I'm gonna put on a good show. But I know Bruce is gonna come out and put a good show on. I know he has his people come out, and hey, my people are his people, and hopefully his fans like me also, and we can all be one happy big family here in Atlantic City. But I know I'm going to put on a good performance and showcase my skills and all the work that I put in. And I know that Bruce Selden Jr. is going to come in and light the building up and dominate also.
You led me into my final question for you, and that is, I'm not asking for a game plan or anything like that. I'm not one of those schmucks out there. But my question is, you mentioned about putting on your skills and what you do best. What is something for you that is different heading into this fight than the fight in May?
Right. A little more patient. Be a little more patient, which I mean, I'm going to fight more for me. I think the last fight I kind of fought a little bit for the crowd and kind of rushed my work in the beginning of the fight, and I ran into a punch. And it was a good learning lesson. So I think I'm going to fight a little bit for me. And I hope the fans can enjoy the boxing, but I'm sure I'll end it in spectacular fashion.
That needs to be a t-shirt, you know, right? You know, who are you fighting for? I'm fighting for me. That's a life mantra, right? Like that's something someone could put up on a poster somewhere, man.
For sure. I always think, like, even when I'm training let's say on the boardwalk. I took my friend training on the boardwalk one time, and I was telling him to shuffle and float like Muhammad Ali on the boardwalk. And he was having a tough time because he cared what people thought about him and how he looked.
Right.
And I told him, yo, man, just be in your own world. Forget about everyone else in this world. Be in your own world. Be internal. Forget the external. And do what you need to do and know what you need to do. And that's, I feel like I've done best so far in my career. But definitely in this camp, I just kind of put myself in my own world. And now I'll co-create my reality on July 26th.
Absolutely. July 26th inside the showroom at Tropicana, Atlantic City. That's where Justin Figueroa will look to become 10-0 as a professional fighter in the ring. Justin, I appreciate you joining me. I know you were really busy this week, so I appreciate you slivering out some time to jump on the phone with me.
Thank you. I really wanted to get in the studio with you. Pardon me about that. I lost time cutting weight in the gym, but I'm on weight and everything is good. So I'll see you July 26th. We'll
see you July 26th. And don't worry, we'll get you back in the studio after you actually win on Friday, okay? Because we know what the plan is. The plan is you're going to go out, you're going to be 10-0, you're going to put your fist up, you're going to have a good night, then you're going to get back to work. That's who you are. I know that.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, man.
Absolutely. Justin, take care of yourself, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Josh. You have a blessed one.
You too. Stay blessed, my man. Justin Figueroa joining us. And of course, you can see Justin fight this Friday night. I only have a handful of pairs to give away. 609-403-0973. Text boxing and your name, and you have a chance to win tickets to go see Justin Figueroa, Bruce Seldon Jr. And don't forget one of the top-rated heavyweight fighters on the planet, Otto Whalen, all in competition, along with a stacked card for the boxing event of the summer this Friday inside Tropicana showroom, Atlantic City. Text in 609-403-0973 with the word boxing to qualify for the tickets. And, before we get out of here, I wanted to follow up on something Justin said, because I loved when he said fighting for you. And I try not to be the guy who strays too far away from sports with a lot of conversation, but sports are in many ways a reflection of life. And there is a intrinsic element that comes to the people who are successful in the sports world. They're successful because they have attributes and traits that go beyond just athletic ability. We are all born with skills and talents and aspects to our personality and our character that make us who we are. And as Justin was telling his friend, look, don't worry about what everyone else thinks of you. You got to do this for you. You got to live your life, fight for you, as he put it. And I think that is an example to all of us that, listen, you may not be appreciated as much as you want at your job. You may not be appreciated by the people around you in your life. You may not be in an environment that is always the best for you, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to be your best every day. Your best may not be your 100% best, but if you do your best and forget the rest, you are going to be more successful than not in life. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. I'm Josh Hennig. Have a great night, everybody.
South Jersey business owners, when Eagles football returns to the airwaves this season, don't miss out. Make sure your business is a part of the Philadelphia Eagles season with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on 97.3 ESPN. Touchdown! Every week, the NFL's most passionate fan base flocks to 97.3 ESPN Radio to listen to their favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Advertising with the Eagles can help your business connect with the consumers you are trying to reach. 97.3 ESPN is the most listened to sports source in all of South Jersey. That's what makes 97.3 ESPN such a powerful station for your business's message. So this Eagles season, don't have your business sitting on the sidelines. Be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles season on 97.3 ESPN. To find out how to become a part of the 2024 Eagles season, go to townsquaresouthjersey.com to request more information.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill is celebrating 15 years on 97.3 ESPN, and Bud Light wants to celebrate with you. It's Happy Hour Friday, July 26th from 2 till 6 p.m. at Giuliano's Pub and Grill, Ocean Heights Avenue in Egg Harbor Township, featuring $3.50 Bud Light drafts and $4 neutral vodka seltzers from 2 till 6 p.m. Enjoy a cold one and enter to win tickets to Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins at Citizens Bank Park and celebrate 15 years of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and Bud Light.